Hey everybody, Ryan here. I'm coming at you with the first official episode of my Seinfeld series, where I go through all the episodes of Seinfeld and just give my review and my opinion of them. As you guys know, it's my all-time favorite show, and I've been wanting to do this series for about 6 months now, and I just have not gotten around to do it. And so I guess I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be doing probably about 4 or 5 episodes in each of my videos, and so... But in this video, I'm actually going to start out with the pilot, just to, get used to it, and plus the pilot episode is just, the main first step in this show. So I think we should dedicate an entire episode, just a little episode, to the pilot. And for those of you who have not seen the pilot, it is actually, I think it was filmed like 6 months to a year before the actual rest of the series was, because they did a pilot and it was not picked up, and so it wasn't picked up for like another 10 months, and then they decided to make more episodes for the first season. And so the pilot's a lot different than the rest of the series, but a lot of the main things are still the same. There's still a group of characters, the same group of characters, George, Kramer. Elaine is not in it. There is a waitress who is named Claire, that they were actually going to work into the show, but it didn't work out, and I just didn't think she was good, so they just didn't go on with that. Elaine appears in the first episode when the show started back up, so that'd be the second episode of the series, which looks a lot different than the pilot. But anyways, the pilot episode is about Jerry, a stand-up comedian, with his friend George and his neighbor Kessler. Not Kramer, but Kessler. They were still in the process of getting the name Kramer straightened out, so he was named Kessler in the first episode. And Jerry gets a call from a woman that he knows saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in New York. Can I stay at your apartment?" And it's just all this. It's not really a plot other than that. And it's just all the discussions between him and George about, now is she wanting to stay in New York to be with him, or is there another motive? Is there going to be some kind of, sexual relationship? Something like that. And it's just hilarious. And the pilot just gets a lot of bad rap from critics who say that it wasn't funny. But I thought it was brilliant and intelligent. Definitely not as good as the rest of the series, but it was still very good. Especially the scene in the laundromat where he's talking about, George is really annoyed at the fact that it takes forever for the dryer to finish, and can't he just stop the dryer there? And Jerry goes on this huge little discussion about drying and stuff, how it's a needed thing and you have to let it go on its cycle, and you can't over dye, you can't over dry, that kind of thing. And it was a hilarious scene. And there's another funny scene in the show, in this episode, where Jerry's bringing out an extra bed into his apartment, and George walks in and he's like, "What are you doing?" And Jerry's like, "I'm just bringing out an extra bed for her." And he's like, "Why don't you just bring another guy too?" Just being so hilarious. But for those of you guys who've not seen the Seinfeld pilot episode, I recommend you do it. It's very good. So I suggest you pick up the season 1 and 2 box set of Seinfeld, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember guys, there's 3 ways of doing things: the right way, the wrong way, and the chat way. See ya.